This is the Coin Show Podcast. The show about coins and coin collecting. And not just any show. This is the #1 coin collecting podcast, going 10 years strong. Here's Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman on the Coin Show Podcast.
Well, that's something different.
You like that? That was something I've been working on.
Absolutely. No, I like that a lot.
Whew.
I don't quite know how to react to it, but...
Well, we could just react to it like we always do. You know.
What? I'm Mike?
And I'm Matt.
Yeah, that doesn't really work with that. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well,
whatever. We'll figure it out.
All right, well.
And this is the Coin Show. On this episode of the Coin Show, we're going to do a mangled mass of news. We're going to talk about something else that I think is going to be interesting, and we will do our competitive coolest thing that walked into our shops this week.
Okay, we're going to try.
But first, as always, the news. Summer fun has been canceled.
Womp womp.
Now, you can insert your own joke here, but literally, the Summer Fun show has been canceled. So the board of directors has announced that although they, quote, are desperately wanting to provide a venue, but the risks far outweigh any potential gain.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I kind of knew this was coming.
Sorry. So the president of fun, he has the best title in the entire world. I'm president of fun. Bob Hurst said that the auction consignments have been transferred to the upcoming ANA show in Pittsburgh.
Which may or may not happen either.
Well, meanwhile, plans for the ANA's World Fair of Money do roll on, though.
That's right.
And although the world may not be completely back to normal by August, it may be normal enough to have a show if the show is designed around social distancing protocols.
It'll be interesting for sure. It's hard to say what's going to happen.
Well, we're in uncharted territory, right?
For sure.
You know, ANA Executive Director Kim Kick says that the ANA is working with the convention center to modify spaces to accommodate both people and safe distancing practices. So, you know, some of the changes are going to include like a larger Boris floor to create more space between the tables, providing written materials and presentations in a virtual format rather than on documents.
Right. And
providing mask, hand sanitizer, and monitoring the temperature of entrance. Now, you know, personally, I still don't know how you get 1,000 people into a space and not to have them on top of one another. Without it being like a parade.
Right. And that's kind of the problem that I'm running into is, it would have to be basically, to get these kind of gatherings to take place, I mean, basically the city that they're in has to basically be off of any kind of restriction, because this is going to be a venue of larger than 250 people. So
yes,
it's hard to say, and I'm not sure that they're going to get there between now and then. But
well, I mean, my thing is that I applaud the ANA, and I applaud what they're telling us as far as that they're really thinking outside the box. They're trying to do something different.
Sure.
But at the same time, what can you do?
Right.
So
who knows?
Right. The East India Company, Bullion Limited, in partnership with the UK territory of St. Helena, have struck a 1-ounce silver coin in honor of the National Health Services heroes. Now, before you recoil in horror...
I'm halfway there, but continue.
Before you recoil in horror, 100% of the profits from the sales of this coin will be donated to NHS Charities Coronavirus Appeal, an organization that has raised almost $142 million during the pandemic thus far.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
So nobody's making any money on it. It's all going to charity. The coin's design captures the appreciation of millions with a heart-shaped Union Jack and hashtag NHS Heroes across the center and legend love, care, compassion, strength.
Yeah, I mean, I like the sentiment behind it, but the coin's kind of boring, if you had to ask me.
Huh.
I just get the old, for Mike.
Well, it's one of those things where I don't know. I don't know if it's something that, you can really do or not. That's all. I think that the whole, the charity thing is a really good element.
Sure.
But beyond that, I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
Let's see. Before we, God, this sound is just killing me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna figure out some way.
Everybody missed all the fun before the show when we blew everything up.
Thank you for bearing with me. Talk to me, Matt.
I'm here. I'm sorry, Mike. I blew everything up before the show.
All right, but should we should wade back into the water cautiously. I understand that, we want to break free. The feeling that, you just have to get out. I even understand the illusion that things have improved.
Right.
Which improvement is a relative term, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's one of those things that we're in uncharted territory. Nobody really knows what's going on. So, tough to say.
Yeah. So, I was talking about improvement being a relative term, right? So if you were to fall from the Empire State Building, okay,
yeah,
at some point you would stop accelerating.
Yeah, normally when you hit the ground, that's what happens.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, before that, at some point you'll stop accelerating. You'll hit hit terminal velocity, right?
Yeah.
But has your situation improved?
Well, no, you're still
okay. So that's
screaming towards the earth at terminal velocity.
Virus. It's like everything seems like it's better, but I think we need to.
But is it really? We shall discuss.
Take it really slow, and let's try and see where we go from there.
Right, 100% agree with you.
Okay. All right, so some well-known people have left us during this pandemic. The latest of which is Annie Glenn.
I saw this too.
The wife of former Senator and astronaut John Glenn. She died earlier this month of COVID-19 complications. She was 100 years old.
Jeez.
An Apollo 13 commemorative high-relief silver coin has been issued.
Okay. Who's it issued by?
Well, here you go. By the Pop Joy Mint. So
gotcha.
the coins mark the 50th anniversary of the ill-fated flight. The Pop Joy Mint had to get special permission from NASA to use their meatball logo.
Okay.
And now, according to the Coin Week story, the image shows the iconic image of the lunar module splashing down. And had that actually happened, that would be really big news. The lunar module did, in fact, return to the Earth with the crew as they used it for a lifeboat on their way home, but it unfortunately could not have withstood the heat of re-entry. So, as usual, it's the command module splashing down is what I believe the Pop Joy meant when they wrote this story, but I digress.
You and your fact checking.
Well, here's the thing: it's like if it was Morgan over there at Coin Week, you give him a break. This is the people that minted it.
Yeah, no joke.
So they should have it right.
Yeah.
In other outer space coin news, an Apollo 11 flown Silver Robins medallion will be sold in the Heritage Auction Space Exploration auction on June 5th.
Apollo 17. You said Apollo 11.
I'm sorry. Did I?
Yes, you did.
Yes, an Apollo 17 flown Silver Robins medallion will be sold in the Heritage Auction Space Exploration auction on June 5th.
So this one actually went to the moon, huh?
Yeah, the medal belonged to Eugene Cernan and was documented to be among his personal effects that he carried with him as he walked on the moon.
Cool.
So the coin is offered with a signed letter of authentication Cernan, who is a native of the Chicago area, was the last man to walk on the moon.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny because my aunt lived in Bellwood, which I think is where he's from.
Yeah.
Because they renamed her street Eugene Cernan Drive.
Really?
True story.
True story. True biz.
Another heritage auction, the June Heritage Auction, or the June Heritage Signature Auction, will feature a very rare coin. A rare 1907 eagle pattern with a rolled rim is expected to bring 6 figures.
Cool.
Yeah. So, okay, this is where I run out of news.
What a weird coin.
Well, and that's the thing. So I was looking at PCGS and what they have, and the rolled edge is actually it's a pattern. It's not really a coin. It came they were striking them with the wire rim.
Right.
The wire rim was actually lower than some of the devices, so it didn't work at all. The rolled rim worked really well because it protected the devices by being up a little bit further. But let's see, there was another modification that they made to it before they actually released it.
My question is, what the heck is coming out of the neck on the Albers there? What is that? I can't get the picture any bigger, but right there on the front, it looks like there's something coming out of the neck of the Native American Liberty there. It's very interesting. Huh, I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, it to me, it looks like it's her hair. It's her hair.
I'm talking about the left side, underneath the chin.
Left side? Oh, underneath the chin. I'm sorry. Okay, so...
What the heck is that? Weird.
Oh, yes, good as mine.
I don't know. Look at the picture.
Here, let me open it up. Take a look-see. Oh, now I see what you mean.
Yeah, it looks like a die gouge or something. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at here, but...
I mean, are you sure that may not be just an anomaly in the picture, maybe?
I don't know. I'm just looking at the picture that I was given.
It
so
seems to be a straight line, but I don't know.
That's weird, isn't it?
I mean, it's graded MS65, so that's going to be kind of tough with a big gouge.
I don't know if it's a gouge. If it was like a die gouge or something and it was made that way,
it's die gouged.
it wouldn't stop it from grading that high. But
On the coin.
I don't know, man. Just a weird looking mark. I caught my eye. So
Yes, sir.
maybe I'll do a little more research into it and see if I can't figure out what the heck I'm looking at.
The finest graded 1862 Indian head cent is going to be sold at Stack's Power's June 2020 Santa Ana auction.
Ooh, what's it grade?
This coin is MS68.
God, I bet that coin's a screamer.
Red brown. It's not. It's copper nickel, so there is no red or brown.
Yes, no color designation on those.
Correct. But yeah, MS68. This thing is going to go into some registry set someplace.
Jeez, I can just imagine.
It is just an absolute stunner.
It's a stud. It's a stud coin.
It is. Also, stud coins. Historic Browning plate 1823 over 23 over 2 quarter is in Stack's Power's June 2020 auction.
That's cool. That's a coin that was in the original Browning book as a plate coin. So
right, and this is why I think this one is particularly interesting, is because up until probably a very short time ago, I did not realize what a plate coin was.
Yeah, it's basically a plate.
So I think it's important for people to understand that the plate coins are the ones that they use to picture the coin in the reference. And it's typically the finest known. It's generally the most eye-appealing known.
Well, back in the old days, they wouldn't have they would not have like just regular photos in the book. They would be in the back of the book in what they call a plate, and they would have a number for the different die variety of that coin, but it would only be on like 1 or 2 pages in the very back of the book, and that's what they called the plates, because they would actually lay those coins out, genuine coins, and take pictures of them in a big plate like that. So
yeah, and this coin it's obvious. The 3 over 2 is really obvious. You can see it with the naked eye.
For sure. Yeah.
It's a monster.
Yeah. Cool coin.
Yeah, very cool coin. And let's see, what is it graded? EF45, PCGS. So it's fourth finest.
Wow. Tough coin. Tough coin.
Very tough coin. NGC has certified the very first Olympic gold medal for basketball.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, see, when I first saw this story, I was thinking about the Basketball Hall of Fame coin. That's not this.
No.
This is a Summer Olympics game gold medal from the 1936 Summer Olympics in Munich, Germany.
Berlin, Germany.
Or Berlin. I'm sorry, you're right. In Berlin, Germany. So that was Hitler hosted this games. It was the last Olympics that would be held for 12 years because of World War II.
Yep, that's right. And
I mean, the U.S. invented basketball. We won every gold medal up until 1972, I think it was. So clearly this belonged to some American. Presented to William Wheatley, captain.
Cool. That's super neat. I like that.
James Naismith.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like that.
Basketball. Yeah, so I mean, it's a really cool coin. I would think that because it's a metal, the relief is really high. I know that it is not necessarily the case anymore that the gold medals, the silver medals that they get, I don't think the gold medals are gold anymore. I think they're silver and they're gold plated.
I'm not even sure this one's gold, to be honest with you, from looking at it. I don't know. And it doesn't say on the holder, of course.
Well, it says fine gold medal. But you're right. It doesn't really.
Huh. I mean,
it doesn't really
explain
whether or not it is. I mean, I don't think anybody assayed them. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do a little research.
I mean, it's just one of those things. It could be. It couldn't be. I'm not 1,000,000% sure if it is. I have it up here on the screen for everybody to see.
Changed over time.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Medals. Okay. Design history. First. Okay. So they were silver and they were gilt.
Ah, there you go. So yeah, I just could tell from the color of it that it wasn't really quite the right color to be gold. It looked gilt.
Gotcha.
So.
But all in all, a very cool piece.
For sure.
Let's see. The latest talisman from Coin Invest Trust protects against the evil eye.
The evil eye? Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a super valuable coin. It's the Republic of Palau, $5, 2020. It's a 999 silver coin.
I kind of want to try my new toy with the evil eye.
Go ahead.
The evil eye.
No. Nothing.
I know, the evil eye. That's better. It's evil. And it's the evil eye.
Matt, I think you have too many toys.
I do. I'm getting way too many toys. Too many toys.
Yeah. But you know how we feel about toys, don't you?
Yeah, we got to have them. We're men. Men in our toys. Boys in our toys, right? Oh.
We love them.
We do.
Let's see, what else do I have? I have the United States Mint opened sales for the 2020 Basketball Hall of Fame commemorative.
Okay, I can see that. That's
finally in the news. Yeah. So the Basketball Hall of Fame coin is going to come out June 4th. Of course, there's a proof and an uncirculated of each option. There's a gold coin, $5 gold coin, and a silver dollar coin, and a clad $half coin. Now here's what rubs me. It's something rubs me every time, right?
Tell me what it is, Mike.
All right, so what's eating Mike? Well, what's eating Mike on this one is okay, so the gold coin is being sold by the grid, right? They just go off the metal and their typical overprice. The silver dollar coin is going to be $74. Okay, and that's a little bit higher than the commems have been in the past,
right?
But not like tremendously, but still okay. It's not even an ounce of silver.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the rub: the clad $half coin, $42 and $44.
Good Lord.
What?
That's a ton.
For what?
Yeah, exactly. For what?
I mean, are you trying to see how low you can drive the mintage number on that coin?
Or you can see,
'Cause I think
yeah,
I figured out
exactly.
how to do it.
Not the mintage number necessarily, but the sales number. I can just imagine that nobody's going to buy it for that, but who knows?
That's insane. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
an enormous amount of money for a useless coin.
Yeah, it's clad. It doesn't have any intrinsic value as far as the metal goes. I mean, it's just a
No,
clad
it's
coin.
curved. It's not even the first one.
Ugh, terrible.
Just, so you just buy them and spend them.
Buy them and spend them. The banks would love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure. All right, well, sir, that was the news. Let me see if I have a new bump for the news out.
Oh, I didn't do my news sponsor.
Oh yeah. Well, here I am. Who was the news brought to us by, Mike?
With everything.
Yeah, we had it got a little rough getting going, but we're here now, so we're getting it. We're making it. We're doing it.
Yeah, you don't want to see how the sausage is made. That's what they always say.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
So, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell us who the news is brought to you by tonight?
Okay, so the news tonight is brought to us by zippers. Better than buttons since 1893, zippers.
I love it. I love it.
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.
So Matt's got some new toys. We got a little nice music bed in the background. Everything's going, yeah, so I want to go, hey. Live.
Man, it has been, there's been a lot of stuff going on the last couple weeks as far as the show goes.
Yes, there has.
A lot of things. So, and of course, all of our new toys we have before the show tonight, one of them decided it didn't want to work because Matt's an idiot and was playing with it and broke everything. So,
you know what? You have to play with your toys. That's the whole point of having them.
That's right. That's exactly right. If you don't play with them, what's the point of having them? So,
that's right.
Speaking of new toys, Mike,
don't sit around and
you didn't get.
You don't want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that at all.
See, here's the thing: is I was talking to my wife about this, and I was like, "Did he realize what he has unleashed on?"
Oh, I know exactly what I've unleashed. It's the best part. That's what I'm excited for. Is how you're going to utilize your new toy.
Oh,
Oh, you're whipping it good. All right, Mike. Well, I have one here for you. So.
Hey, Mike. What was the coolest thing that walked into your
no.
shop?
No, we're not ready for that yet. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I sent you some materials this week.
Oh, yeah, yep, you did. You sure did. Thank you.
I was going to use it as the coolest thing.
So this is like a secondary coolest thing?
Pardon me?
This is like a secondary coolest thing?
Well, here's the thing: is it's a very cool thing,
right?
And so the thing that walked in later is cooler, and therefore, from a competition standpoint, might bode better for me. But this was just a cool thing. This is something that you don't see very often. They're not rare. They're not like super, but they're uncommon, and they just don't show up all the time. So
let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look. So what happened to walk in one day was a GSA pack, a soft pack from the mid 1970s. This has a quote circulating coin. Although I tell you, I looked at the coin, I couldn't find any wear on it.
Some of them don't have wear.
It didn't quite meet the standards of what they put in the hard packs as uncirculated dollars. And it wasn't Carson City. This was an old mint. So it didn't meet the criteria for the uncirculated Carson City silver dollar.
Right.
And what was really neat is that, we have, because Burke's been around for so long, we have paperwork from all this stuff. So my boss walks over to me. He's like, yeah, you want something to talk about on your podcast? And I'm like, sure. And he shows me the order form, which Matt can show you is, so this is what people were looking at when they were trying to order GSA dollars from the mint in the 1970s. And it's kind of a cool thing.
It's got a very 70s feel to it with like the wood colored, kind of the brick ready orange color with the Carson City silver dollars and the picture there of the silver dollar. It's I've had a few of these over the years, but they're always interesting to see.
Yes, they are interesting to see. You never quite, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I would really like to own one, but, it's like they're just a little too pricey for that. So this one, it says there was a card that I had, and this one actually didn't go with it, but I thought it was interesting. It says, this coin has never been placed in circulation by the U.S. government. However, due to its heavy scratches or tarnish, it was called out of the uncirculated category and was offered in a special category at a $15 minimum bid price. And this is for Carson City ones.
So that little card goes in the black boxes with the Carson City coins that don't say uncirculated underneath them.
Right.
Underneath the coin, it just says Carson City silver dollar, and that was for coins that either had tarnish or were heavily bag marked. You actually get a lot of cool, pretty toned coins out of those holders.
Yeah, so I mean, they offered these for sale, and I mean, it's like an old wanted poster, U.S. government sale.
Yeah.
Right. And so on it, it says the maximum amount of silver in circulating coins is 40%.
Well, yeah, during that period it might have been,
Right.
but
And during this time they were. So I just thought that this was something that was prohibitively cool.
yeah, oh yeah, I love that stuff. I love old. I'm a weirdo like that. I love old paperwork and pieces of stuff like that are just related to coin sales. I always like that stuff.
Apparently they had a ton of 82, 83, and 84 CCs.
Yes,
Because they're on the form. There's 82, 83, 84 CC. Then you can put in any coin you want, but there's actually a slot for 82, 83, 84. Minimum acceptable price was $30.
Yeah, I think of one of the dates. I think it might have been 82. They had like 85% of the mintage in the GSA hoard. So
yeah, I think that was 85.
Nah,
Because it was a relatively uncommon coin up until the GSA hoard, and now all of them are in GSA holders.
but I think one of the common dates too was like 85 was like 60% mintage. But I think one of the other dates was up to 83 or 85% of the total mintage was in that hoard.
Yeah, and the 030 is another victim of that. It was a coin that was thought to be rare, and it was. Finding an 030 with wear on it,
Yeah,
is actually probably going to bring more money than an uncirculated one
Right.
at this point.
for sure.
Yeah. So this was just something that came in and I thought was really cool. I thought that we have a platform here, that we can show people things, and this was very visual, and it was just something I wanted to share.
Cool. Well, thanks, man. I really like that. I think that's super cool. I always like showing off stuff like that on the show. So,
Do we have any listener questions?
I haven't even solicited for any yet. So, let me
Let's
just
check the mail.
you check the email. I'll get in the chat, the live stream chat. We'll see what we got going on. I'm singing over here.
Questions at coinshowradio.com. Question, we do. Hello, I have a question.
All right.
Sure. I have a question that you guys touched on a show or two ago regarding bullion prices. As of when I'm writing this email, silver spot is $17.52 per ounce. APMEX is selling 2020 silver eagles for $28 to $30 depending on bulk pricing. That's $10 per ounce over the official price. I would not be surprised with $4 or $5, but 10 seems like a lot.
Yep.
Maple Leafs and Britannias are less, but still like $6 over spot. Pandas are even more than eagles. So my question is this: who is the spot price for? Is APMEX buying eagles from the government for spot and then selling to us? If I want to sell silver, should I use the spot price or the going price? Is the spot price only for buying by the ton or whatever? I collect silver bullion coins and I was going to buy some, but I was stopped by the high price. Maybe they're not high and I'm just confused as to how all this works. Thanks, Mark Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that last episode. It just had to do with the availability of the physical stuff that you could buy. Nobody wanted to, with a lot of places closed, a lot of places under restriction of doing business, it's hard to get that physical right now. Like we're not offering any for sale in my office at the moment. We don't plan on reopening until mid-June. So it's just the the people that have it live that can ship it now can charge what they want for it, and it just seems like the premiums were pretty high at the moment.
I would offer this. So the price for silver is determined by the commodities market, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's understand that the guys on the floor of the commodities market are not sitting there trading bars back and forth. They're trading paper. And they are trading it, and that is what determines the spot price. On rare occasion, you're going to have something impact the silver market that will drop the market price that is unrelated to the bullion. And that's
Exactly.
what happened in
Yep.
this case. So what happened was, gold, people that had gold contracts sold them or sold silver in order to make the margin call on their gold contracts.
Yes.
When you start selling things in mass, the price drops. So even in the middle of this panic where gold was going through the roof, silver was dropping because people were selling off contracts. Well, unfortunately, that really didn't impact the supply of physical silver. And now you had a supply chain problem, right? Where nothing's moving. Even if you could get it, it's not moving.
Right.
Right. And because of the price drop, everybody has called their bullion dealers and has cleaned them out. So whatever was available went very quickly like that, and it was gone. Now you have a low spot price, and the people that have physical silver own it at like $6 over spot.
Yeah.
So they have no choice but to either not sell it or sell it for a bigger premium. APMEX did not buy these Silver Eagles at $11.
Nobody did. They weren't available. The Mint didn't have them.
They
Nobody
bought
was
them at
selling
like 24.
Yeah.
And that's why they're selling them at 28 to 30. And if you think that a normal $4, $5, $6 swing is correct, if you think about the fact that they probably bought them at 24, now the price makes sense.
Yeah. And if you're, and my advice is just be patient. Just be patient right now. Once things are starting to open up, physical becomes more available. The premiums will come back down. It'll get back to where it was, I think, relatively soon. So
now here's one of my favorite questions to answer because you know what my answer on this one is going to be.
Bowling.
This one comes from B. Horton.
B. Horton.
B. It's just B. Period. Horton.
Okay.
Gentlemen, throw that term around loosely. I, like many, have found your show and have been working my way backwards through all the archives. Thanks for the great content and information. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
My question is this. In looking at value charts, there is a huge jump in value from a proof 69 Silver Eagle versus a proof 70 Eagle. How does one know if a proof Eagle is worth grading? Is it just a gamble, or does one really have to have a ton of experience prior to submitting one for grading? My hunch is there must not be many of these around, and it is probably not something I should mess with. But my curiosity got the better of me, and I figured I would ask you too. Also, I can't seem to find a great resource for grading criteria on Silver Eagles in my cursory searching. Any suggestions there? Thanks in advance for any light you could shed on the subject.
Welcome to the jungle, B.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, okay, so here, first off, my pat answer is this. Are they worth grading? No. Is this a gamble? Yes. Does one really have to have a ton of experience prior to submitting them for grading? Absolutely not. You don't have to know anything to submit it for grading. You just have to submit a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Because there's a percentage of them that are going to come back 69. There's a percentage of them that are come back 70. And
there are very, very, very few people in the world that can tell the difference. And they do work for the grading companies. And I have watched them train to learn how to grade these things. And I still don't understand it. So
I
just don't understand it.
It is puzzling to say the very least. But here's the thing to understand: that even though graded bullion seems to have a premium right now, it doesn't mean that it will always be there.
Right.
And the prevailing wisdom on graded bullion is that it's bullion. The proof eagles sell for more than bullion price, but they sell for about $30.
A little more right now, but yeah.
Okay, and sometimes a little more, and as silver goes up and down, they kind of bob and weave. But the point is that they're generally never worth grading. And as far as a resource for grading criteria on Silver Eagles, there really isn't any grading criteria because everything on a Silver Eagle is going to be 68, 69, or 70.
Yeah, right.
So there's no where. That's all strike. And so all you have to do to figure out the difference between the three of them is just learn to look at details. Really hard to strike parts of detail.
Or
And
find
that's what you start to look at, and that's generally how you tell.
like breaks in the finish even can make a coin go from a 70 to a 69. And I mean, it's really funky. I had a little bitty bit of experience with that, and I knew that I wanted nothing to do with it at all. So,
It's crazy.
yeah, it's nuts. And I don't want, like I said, I got just a teeny bit of experience with it. I was watching a really, really advanced dealer train a guy who went on to work at NGC as a grader for modern stuff, and he was showing him how to tell the difference, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So I got a question from YouTube from William Bischoff. He said, how often do you find yourselves resubmitting coins between PCGS and NGC? So do you have a lot of experience with that with you guys yet?
I don't have a ton of experience with submitting or resubmitting coins. I will tell you that that's not my vertical, right? There is a gentleman that works for us named Mike Prince. He is the one that deals with our graded coins, and he is generally the one that determines whether or not he thinks a coin will upgrade or not. I am the one who sends in the raw coins.
Right. So I do this in our store, and I will tell you that maybe every year I will crack maybe 100, 150 coins a year out of the probably 20,000 coins that we send in, or coins that come out of other holders. It does happen, and most of the time you don't really gain anything from it. The crackout game kind of sucks, to be completely honest with you. I don't like it. But there are some coins that the different grading companies grade a little bit differently from each other. And those tend to be the coins that we crack out and send to the other company.
But that's more of an educated kind of thing. You know that one service versus the other is tougher on something or looser on something, and you know that getting it in the holder is what's important.
But getting in the right holder is what's important. But the answer to how often is not very often. I have another question.
I don't think that the grading companies make that many mistakes. And I don't think that, although gradeflation exists, I don't think it's as rampant as people think. I don't think it moves as much as people think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that most people just don't understand grading to the fine degree that it would take to understand some of the swings.
Looks like we have a question from Kamal Rai. Hopefully I said that right. What is the prediction gold price, rise or fall coming in the future?
Yes.
Yes.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, as somebody that does deal with gold and silver and bullion every day, you have to look at the economy. You have to look at the world right now and ask yourself, how comfortable do you feel with everything that's going on? The more comfortable you feel, the more likely that the price is going to go down. The less comfortable that you feel, the more likely that the price is going to go up. And that is the really quick and dirty of what you should do with your gut. Other than that, there's a lot of other things that go into it that I don't really necessarily want to get into tonight. I don't know about Mike, but
a really good illustration of exactly what you said happened at the beginning of the pandemic when everything started to shut down.
Right.
That was when people started going, God, I'm really uncomfortable. I'm going to have to stay at home. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work. God knows how much longer I'm going to work. Is my company going to lay me off? And all of a sudden, the price of metal shot way up.
Yep. It's just, I mean, that's the quick and simple way to think about it. And that's the way I do always think about it.
Now, Scott Barman
wrote
and made me very, very proud because he actually answered a question that I asked our listeners for about what mindless iPhone games they've been playing.
Okay, what games has he been playing?
And he didn't get it right. He said you asked about it, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Listening system. Matt asked about mindless iPhone game. I've been playing Brickout by BitMango. I just like watching little balls fly around knocking out the bricks. There's something satisfying about watching it. That's true.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a couple more questions here. Is that you got any more over there?
Yeah, I got a couple more.
Okay, shoot.
Let's see. Okay, so Scott also wrote to us after a few weeks of convalescence. I was binge listening to the podcast. I apologize, Scott. You can't sue us for that. I'm surprised and pleased that Mike reads my blog and has felt it was worthy to mention on the show. I am listening to episode 160 and heard the mention of my post about disinfecting money. Hearing your reaction was confirmation that the light, tongue-in-cheek tone was well received. As an aside, even though my platform is a blog, I try to be complete as possible. Thank you for the mention, Scott. That's from Coin Collector's Blog.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. I love
thanks for listening, Scott. I hope you feel better.
Yeah. And Mark sure sent us a sponsorship suggestion, Oxygen, providing cellular respiration to animals for 2.4 billion years.
You guys have too much fun with that. It's just I love it.
You see how simple it is. It's I was signing up some other companies before, we came on tonight.
We were talking one time and I gave you like 3 or 4 and you were like, "No, that's a real company. No, can't do that. No." Yeah. No, you shut down everyone I hit, so I'm just never going to try again. That's how I work on things. If I try a couple times and I fail, then I just quit.
No, I've hurt your feelings somehow.
No, you didn't hurt my feelings. I just am bad at it. If I'm bad at something, I don't continue to try to do it.
Very, very, very picky about certain things, so it's like I tend to be a little anal and OCD about it.
You're a control freak. That's what it is.
I am. I'm a total control freak. So so we were talking with the street signs people. We were talking with cats, deodorant, sidewalks.
Cats.
I was thinking about, the opposable thumbs people were knocking on our door, and I just told them
no, they couldn't quite open the door, right? Without them.
I don't know. With the opposable thumbs, you actually can.
Oh wow! See, I told you I'm bad at this stuff. Let's see here. I got a question from Michael Claude. He asked, "Do y'all think that the U.S. Mint will produce similar amounts of circulating coinage in 2020, despite what seems to be a drop in commerce using physical currency?" I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but if any year had a chance to have a lower mintage of anything, I think this is probably the year. I mean, they've had to shutter operations for a while. I mean, that doesn't tend to slow them down much, but I mean, if any year had as good a chance as any other, I think this is one. How do you feel about that, Mr. Modern Guy?
Well, I can tell you that the Mint is still making coins. They're still making them at a ridiculous clip.
Right.
The best example I can give you of something to compare it with would be 2009. Let's say, because 2009 the banks fell apart and there wasn't a need commercially for a lot of coin.
Right.
And so it wasn't there. I think this year is probably going to be very similar to that, in that there won't be as much commerce transacted in person.
Yeah.
So, coin will not be as used, but we're never going to slow down as far as, using it. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, I agree. It's just one of those things that we seem to be the one, it seems to be the one thing that we really pride ourselves on is our use of currency for everything, and our the fact that our currency is, renowned around the world as being something that you can take no problem. So,
well, what's really funny about that is, yes, you're correct in the fact that the American dollar is the preferred money around the world, right?
Right.
But from talking to somebody from Europe, I have learned Europeans are much more likely to have cash and coins in their pocket than an American.
Interesting.
It's just one of those things where it's like, we are so much more pull out the debit card for a 25-cent purchase and boom, there it is.
Right.
A lot of places in Europe don't allow it. And so it necessitates the actual carrying of money.
Interesting. Yeah. Got one more question here. William Bischoff again asked, how do you value CAC stickers on coins? Question I've answered a couple times, but I'll take another crack at it. So there are a couple ways to do it. The Gray Sheet Coin Dealer newsletter actually recently just came out and started adding CAC bids to some, most of the popular coin series. So if you're on the dealer side, it makes it relatively easy. But if you're on the collector side and you're trying to figure out what a CAC coin might bring, you're going to want to look at places like Heritage, Stax Bowers. Look at some of their completed auctions for the same coin that you're looking at, and even eBay if it's not a super expensive coin, and that will help you kind of realize what that particular CAC coin brought to the table as far as money goes versus a coin that was not CAC'd. Also, PCGS CoinFax does a really great job of keeping track of a lot of auctions of certain coins. So you might use that website and look at the CAC prices versus the non-CAC prices. That's the way we do it quick and dirty if we don't happen to have a Gray Sheet in front of us. So hopefully that helps. What's that?
Can I pontificate on that for a second?
Please do.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about CAC stickers is I don't think on lower end coins they're very useful. That I think that the lower the population on a coin is, the more useful the CAC sticker is.
For sure. I mean, if it's a common coin with a CAC sticker, it doesn't add much value. It probably doesn't even add the $12.50 that it costs to send it in. But there are some coins that, on really, really expensive or really, really rare coins, it can add 20% to the value just because there are not that many coins out there, and for one to get a CAC sticker is significant as far as the value goes.
Yeah, I mean, that was just kind of my thought on it, was that the CAC sticker, when there's a population of 10, one having a CAC sticker, okay, at least it's at least correct
and nice for the
plus.
grade, right.
It's either correct or plus, so it's not going to be one of the lower end coins for the grade, just not.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's what I think too. So. All right, buddy. Well, that was fun. I
learned things.
I love listener questions. That's probably my favorite segment. I know yours is what walked in, but man, listener questions are fun.
Yeah, listener questions are fun. They're fun because you never really know what you're going to get.
That's right. Okay. Well, I know I earlier I jumped ahead, but now.
Hey, Mike. What was the coolest thing that walked into your shop this week?
And you know what's really funny? With all of our technical issues earlier, I forgot to put your pictures in. So let me just do that real quick.
No, we're
good. And I had to add the ones that you sent me because I could not get any other ones. So.
Yeah, well.
Whoa, hey.
Okay, so I'm going to go first, I assume.
You are, because I am adjusting your pictures as we speak.
Okay.
Making them look.
So let me tell you a little story. We had a coin that came in.
It's coming, guys. I promise. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was going to give you kind of a walk up to it.
Okay.
So we had this coin walk in, and
of course
it is something that you just honestly don't see very often. You don't see very many of them. And what?
Oh boy, they're crooked.
Oh, well, that's nothing new. I took them.
No, I mean like they're crooked in the program. Program doesn't even like them. It's all right. I'll work on it. You just keep talking.
Okay. So every once in a while, one of the things that I really appreciate are Cameo coins, Cameo proof coins. And the reason why I appreciate it so much is because I understand that it was not, although it was the intention of the minter, it was the intention of the minter that it would be just a couple of coins and then it would kind of go away. So you have this process where they would dip the dies in a pickling brine and they would acid etch them, and then they'd polish the fields, and that would make the fields really nice and shiny, but it would give a frosting to all the devices. And the fact that the mints traded out the dies, without regard to the others, meant that you would end up with one that had a brand new die, and so it would have a Cameo obverse, but the reverse was not. Or it would have a brand new die and have a Cameo reverse, but the obverse was not. And in the cases where you have a coin that has a Cameo obverse and a Cameo reverse, those are the rare occasions when you can actually have a coin that grades Cameo. Well, an even smaller percentage of those coins grade deep Cameo. And when you start talking about coins that are older than, the 1900s, this
Right.
is where deep Cameo coins become exceedingly rare.
Still trying to get him in here straight, man. Good Lord.
That's okay. So the coolest thing I walked into our shop was in 1883, shield nickel. So they made both the shield nickel and they made the V nickel in 1883. And this one came in at proof 66 cam.
Oh, Lord.
It's okay. We don't have to have pictures.
Oh, we do. They're just sideways. I'm having a rough night.
We're all having a rough night. Okay,
We'll just come back to the show screen.
All the way.
So anyways, it was an 1883 shield nickel and proof 66 Cameo by PCGS.
Yeah, it's an 1883. And to be honest with you, looking at the coin, I think that the Cameo designation may be a little generous. Looking at this particular coin, the stars are deep Cameo. They're ultra cam and they're beautiful. They're completely strong. They're completely separated like they should be on a proof coin. But the 5 is not quite as frosted. The Legend United States of America, not quite as frosted. Cents, not quite as frosted. The last digit in the date, the 3 in 1883, looks to me to be brilliant. So that's where I think that giving this one a Cameo designation, probably a little generous, but just a stunning coin.
Yeah, they're really cool when they get Cameo to Ultra Cameo, that old classic stuff. Oh, some of my favorite stuff. It just pops.
So, that was me. And now, that finger.
Oh, I like that. That was good. I'll show you what I brought to the party this week. Hit the wrong button. Come on.
Yeah.
There we go.
How am I going to see
I'll just tell you all about it. So we bought a 1806 $half, pointed 6, no stems, which again, one of my favorite designs. The bust, the early bust coinage with the heraldic eagle reverse. Just one of my favorite designs. The coin's actually really nice too. For a fine, it's got really attractive surfaces. No really detracting marks. The toning is very nice. You can tell it's never been cleaned. Just a kind of an all-around wholesome coin. And these things are actually getting really affordable these days. I was surprised. This coin's like less than $600, which, for stuff that we deal with is not all that much money.
Why do you think the price on these is coming down?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think that some of it has to do with the desirability of this particular series. It's never been a super popular series just because it actually was so pricey for a while. But, even now, I think that finding a wholesome, collectible condition coin like this is hard because a lot of these early coins were messed with. They were messed with, 50 or 75 or 100 years ago. And they were cleaned or, because that was the thing to do back then. So the fact that this coin escaped that is kind of neat. And to me, what makes it the coolest thing is just the fact that it's a nice, wholesome, original, non-screwed with coin.
Well, for anything to survive 114 years and still be problem-free is almost miraculous.
That's 200. Let's see.
214 years.
You said 114.
I'm sorry. So 114 is
even better. Yeah, right.
114 is even better. And yeah, that's kind of the thing. So yeah, I cheated. I went on YouTube and looked. Yeah, this is your classic, drape bust $half. These are they're really cool coins, and this one is a fine plus.
Yeah, it's 15. So yeah, that's why I like it too. It's just the fact that it's a little bit nicer than your average fine. Just a super pretty coin. So I was happy to get it. It's nothing, not the most expensive or most amazing thing that could come through the door, but it was just something that I caught my eye because of its originality and its look, and just was a nice coin. So
now, whenever I see these draped bust coins,
yeah,
do you know what the first thing I do is?
what's that?
Start counting stars.
Yeah, well, you got to do that too.
I think it's cool. I think it was something that shows that, not everything that they set up when they started running this country kind of continued on. They were like, yeah, we're gonna add, we'll add a star, we'll add a stripe, and then we'll add stars to our coinage. And then after 15, they started looking at the flag and they were like, this might get a little unruly, so let's just make it stars. And
Yeah, we got olive branches and bundles of arrows and all sorts of stuff going on.
Just all this stuff. So, well, I mean, the arrows and stuff like that, those never changed from 13, right? But I know that the stars did, and even the stars on the reverse of these coins at one point did. There are 14 and 15 star reverses.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I mean there are definitely some variances in that, but like this particular example is a no stem variety, and it was just made that way on accident. They forgot to put the stem on the olive branch coming out of the eagle's other claw.
He ate it. He was hungry.
Yeah, so I mean that's just a variety that was just done by the die engraver. It's nothing really, nothing really that was done on purpose. So
yeah,
but yeah, cool stuff. That's my favorite stuff. Every time I get a coin like that, I'm going to bring it to the show. So,
all right. So, comment.
Yep.
Which coolest thing you like better?
Yep.
Matt, Mike.
And we'll figure it out. We'll come back and we'll talk about it next week. We'll see who won.
And then we'll pick our winner.
Oh,
it'll be
I love that. Mike,
Dude,
I love.
You should have turned me loose with this thing.
Oh, I did. I'm so happy that I did.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of Matt?
What's that? Oh, I moved them all around, buddy. God, where did you get your sound effects from? The 1960s? Good Lord.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna make fun of him now.
I love it. I love it. I love this. I love this so much. This is making me happy. All right, bro. Well, you got anything else tonight?
No, I am wrung out tonight.
I know. Well,
I can't.
You want to play him our last new piece of audio here, buddy?
Well, no. Before we do that, how about the idea that I came up with?
Go ahead.
So, our patrons, we are going to have. When do you want to do it? You want to do it 4th of July?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Well, it's,
all right.
it's
So
possible.
coming up in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a what did I call? Oh, it was a happy hour.
A virtual happy hour.
Virtual happy hour with our listeners.
Yep. With us.
Basically kind of like going to Central States, but without, the waitresses. Slow service.
And without the coronavirus either.
That too.
Well, we'll announce it. We'll just pay attention to the Facebook. Pay attention to, if you're a patron, pay attention to the Patreon page. We'll make an announcement. We're going to have a little virtual hangout. We'll figure out the logistics behind it and let you know. But, you can come video chat with us. Just hang out. Talk to us. Ask us what you want. Have a drink with us. Don't have a drink with us if you don't want to. Doesn't matter. But we're going to hang out. Yeah, have a bottle of water. It doesn't matter. But we're going to hang out and have a good time. Just kind of get to know you guys.
Yeah, all that stuff.
So if you want to come hang out with us, just pay attention to, like I said, the different social media platforms, and we'll make those announcements as we get a little bit closer and, frankly, figure out what the heck we're gonna do. But
that's usually how we roll, right?
You're exactly right. I didn't have it up, but I should have hit it.
I'll cut that one.
There you go. All right. Well. Then I guess
so. The coin show tonight has been brought to you because the news wasn't sponsored. So the coin show has been brought to you by Zippers. Better than buttons since 1893. Zippers.
Love the zippers.
Yeah. They're better than buttons. At least according to the Zippers people.
All right. Well, then I guess for the coin show, I'm Matt.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll talk to you next time on the Coin Show.
You've been listening to the Coin Show podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman. 10 years and going. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on Facebook at facebook.com/CoinShowRadio. There, you'll find our live streams. Plus, the podcast is on all the usual places like iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. For our private group on Facebook, look up Friends of the Coin Show Podcast. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at The Coin Show. And sign up to be one of our patrons at patreon.com/TheCoinShow. If you come in at the $5 a month level, you'll get 2 extra bonus episodes a month. As always, thank you so much for your support. This is the Coin Show Podcast, signing off.